morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today we are making a quick trip into town because we realized that we were out of coffee at home, which that's rough.
Womp womp womp.
I don't know how we're supposed to get all of our stuff done without coffee.
Coffee first.
But we thought it'd be cool because we decided that we are going to stop and pick up some coffee, but we are going to go to a place that makes really, really good coffee and tea in town. I order a hot tea called a London Fog, which is delicious.
I put it at the when we first started the channel, I shared that recipe.
Oh, we have a London Fog recipe on the channel if you want to go back and look at it.
I think it was one of my first shorts.
Oh, it was a short. One of the first shorts that we posted. So you can check that out. But that is what I order from this place, and it is called Honeybee Coffee.
Mm-hmm.
They have a little remote, like a remote coffee stand that sets up down the road from my office.
It's a food truck. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like a food truck. But then they have an actual shop in town. So
And we've never been there before.
we've always gone to the little remote one, the food truck looking one. But we've never been to the actual one. So Steph said this morning, let's just go do it. Let's try it. Let's check it out. So we figured we would bring you along with us and check it out with us together.
How is it?
Delish. How is it?
Yes. Fine art, artistic thing, and you go to this thing, you get graded on it, you get graded, you can like.
Okay, we are back at the house. The tea was delicious. And I want to talk to you about what my project is today. So I got my table of stuff spread out that I'm going to need. But today we're going to start some sprouts. I'll show you what I got here. So there's this helicopter. Passes. Okay. So, we're going to be doing 2 mild sprouts, so mild tasting sprouts, alfalfa, and broccoli. These are 2 of my favorite mild tasting sprouts. And then we got the spicy sprout for the flavor with some radish. So I cannot wait to do these sprouts. And I'll tell you a little story. It's probably 12 years ago now. Yeah, 12 years ago. I started a YouTube channel 12 years ago. And it was called Gardener Buddy. And I started it because I was really big into sprouting and sprout salads and things like that. And I wanted to film it. It was my first kind of, I guess like little microgreen project that I had ever done. So I wanted to put it on camera. And I think back then I was pretty much just doing some basic sprouts like some sunflower and broccoli sprouts. But I had that channel and I uploaded those sprout videos to it. I think I did a little bit of our asparagus that we were growing, and me and Steph like had a little bitty garden, and I don't know, something happened with that channel. It got like taken over and it became like an Asian toy review channel. Someone just like hacked into the channel, took it over, changed my password so I couldn't get into it. I didn't have very many videos on it. And then for a while I could still like go, and I wish I would have thought about it, but I could still go and see the channel. Like I could watch it on YouTube and I could watch those videos that I had made along with a bunch of random toy reviews that were also being uploaded to that channel. And then it was just gone. Like I couldn't find it at all anymore. So unfortunately, I don't have those old YouTube videos of Gardener Buddy, but I do want to do some sprouts again, and I want to put them on the channel. And I got some really cool little sprouting trays to work with this time. I used to just do it in like a cooking dish. So yeah, I'm going to show you what we are going to use, and we're actually going to do a test, right? 2 different ones. So there's this real fancy medium. I call it fancy, but it's pretty basic. Coconut coir. I've heard it pronounced different ways. It is the husk of like the very outer shell of the coconut, and I think for the longest time it was thought to just be a waste product of coconuts, harvesting coconuts, until people found out that it was actually a really good medium, and that it retained water and moisture very well. So you can buy it in these big bricks, but this is the brand that I bought. This is just called Mother Earth brand, and this one is actually rinsed with fresh water, because a lot of times this stuff can contain salt. If they wash it in salt water near an ocean or things where coconuts grow, they can get a lot of salt in them. So you want to make sure that it's been freshwater rinsed to remove the salt content, because that would not be good. Just got attacked. That would not be good for your plant. But what we're going to start with right now is we're going to have to check back in on this continually for the next like week or so. But what we're going to start is we're just going to start by giving our seeds a little boost by letting them soak. And I'm probably going to let all of these seeds soak for the rest of today, and I'll come back on here and show you when we're doing them. But the test, here's the test. So 1 tray will be with the coconut coir, and the other tray will be another popular way that people sprout, with just some kind of damp paper towels, just to show you the very basic of how you could do it with some damp paper towels. Now I have learned in the past that if you try to use like a potting mix or an organic dirt mix or things like that, because those types of mediums have so much in them, the micronutrients and the microbiomes, like all the little things inside of it, you can develop like mold and gnats and all kinds of stuff, because there's just so much stuff in there, and you're usually doing this in an enclosed space and things like that. So great for the garden, great for getting those plants really big and nice that you want out in the garden, but not so great for sprouting. So typically you want to use something that doesn't have a whole bunch of stuff in it. You just want something that's going to be a base medium that can retain some water, because all the nutrients that you want from your sprouts are going to come from that seed. That seed gives it every single thing it needs. You don't have to do anything extra other than provide water, ventilation, and light. That's all you got to do, and the seed takes care of it. And I'm sure you probably know, but if you don't, sprouts are packed full of nutrients. I mean, you have like lots of nutrients packed into this tiny little sprout. So when you throw them into a salad or put them on a sandwich, or however you consume those sprouts, you're getting like a big punch of nutrients, really dense in one spot. So that's why I love sprouts, and they're delicious. So let's start by getting our seeds soaked, and I'll show you how we're going to set our trays up. Okay, location change because it's super hot. So went ahead and moved back into the garage, and I guess got this little box, this little cardboard box. I think Steph's like jars or something came in here, and I'm just going to get some of this coconut coir stuff off of this brick. And there's also other ways that you can do this too. You can actually throw this whole brick in like a tub or something, and it will, you can put water in it and it will start to expand and like break it up. But I'm not going to use this whole brick right now, so I'm just going to get some of it off of it because this stuff does expand. Not going to need a whole lot. Okay. That's probably going to be pretty good. So I just broke some off. Now what I'm going to do, tear it down into like a little bit more manageable pieces, and then I'm going to take my sprayer with water and we're just going to give it a good spray. Tear it apart a little bit more. You will be surprised at how much this stuff kind of expands. That one big block I bought will give you a lot. We actually have a cold front coming tonight to Texas. A cold front. And you know what that cold front is going to do, guys? That cold front is going to take us from 103, 104, 105 and up to 99 degrees. But you know what? I will take it. I will take 99 degrees any day over triple digits. It is hot. And it's important to know too that this coconut coir will hold on to water really, really well, almost too well if you just drench this stuff. It will be sometimes too wet for what you need. So if you're just tearing off a little bit of the big block, like I'm doing, I find that the sprayer works pretty well, as opposed to just pouring water over it or sitting it in water to expand. And I guess if you wanted to use the entire bale, you know, that would be a good way to do it quickly and efficiently. All I want is enough for the trays. Okay, and you can see that made a lot. I mean, it pretty much did a whole layer on this big cardboard box. So that's perfect. I'll let that sit for a little bit. Show you the other method that we're going to do. And that is with paper towels. Just your ordinary paper towel. Okay, so let's set this to the side for a second. We will bring up our trays. So these sprouting trays are super cool, and you can get them on Amazon. They're not very expensive, but there is a little bit of a learning curve when using these sprouting trays. So the seeds and the medium will go on this one, because this allows water to run through into the bottom water retention area. But you do different things with each set of this. So for one, you can use it to cover your seeds when you want them to be germinating. You can turn it upside down, also for germination, to put some weight on your seeds. Put something on top of it to push down on your seeds into your medium. And then also you can stack it in here to use the bottom as water retention. So multiple ways to use these little seed trays. But the other method, the other medium that I see a lot of people do, and it is kind of your bare minimum type medium, is take a paper towel and fold it over a couple times into your tray to where it looks like that, right? So your paper towel is just right here, folded into your tray. You got 1 or 2 and a half or so layers of the paper towel. And then you're just going to take your water and you're going to wet your paper towel and you're going to put your seeds right on top of it. We are also going to try this method. This is the super basic, simple method of sprouting, where you're literally just a paper towel and water. So we will try that. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our different seeds soaking. So this is just room temperature water. Put some in here. And we are going to do, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trays, and I have 3 different seeds. So I say, because the radish ones you don't need a whole lot of, right? These are the spicy sprouts. So we'll do 1 tray of these, and we'll do it in the coconut coir, and that'll just be our 1 radish tray. But we will do 2 trays of alfalfa and 2 trays of broccoli, and each one of these will test, right? So 1 tray with paper towel and 1 tray with coconut coir, 1 tray with paper towel, 1 tray with coconut coir, and we'll just see what the difference is, if there is any at all. So let's get them soaking. I'm going to open up the alfalfa. This is the homegrown brand, and I'll put links to everything in the description if you want to try this along with us at home. It is, you know, anywhere between a 5 to 10 day process, so follow along with this and try it, because I love sprouting. I think it's super fun. Now these get sewed in pretty dense, right? So you want to soak a good amount, especially since we're doing 2 trays. I'm not measuring anything. I just am looking to see how dense I want to sew these things in and go in from there. And I think that's going to be pretty decent for both of those trays. That's alfalfa. Now we will do broccoli. This is the Country Creek Acres brand. These seeds are a tad bit bigger than the alfalfa, but not much. And then our radish seeds, and these are Easy Peasy brand, grown in the USA. Radish sprouting seeds. And these we're only doing one tray of these. They are much bigger. Well, not much bigger, but they are bigger. Okay. Now I'm going to add my room temperature water. And all this is just a head start, right? Like, it's just a booster. You don't even have to use water if you don't want to. Like, you don't have to soak them if you don't want to, but it does give the seed that extra ounce of energy, that extra oomph to get started whenever you're ready to put it inside of your tray. So I'm gonna let these soak, and they are going to soak for the rest of the day today. So it's probably gonna be somewhere around 6 hours or so. And then we will throw them out on the trays and see how they look. Alright, we'll be back here in 6 hours. Well, the cold front has made it. We're getting lots of rain, and I love it. I did not think we were going to get this much rain, but man, this is amazing. It is pouring. Alright, we are back. It is the end of the day. It is pouring outside. Man, when I said that a storm front was blowing in, I did not know it was going to have so much rain. But it dumped a lot of rain. Looks like it's kind of starting to let up now. But we really needed it. Glad for the temperature change. A few degrees, but I'm really glad for the summer rainstorm. Okay, so the blocks that I chipped off of the cocoa completely filled these 3 trays, which was perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my sprayer and I'm going to wet everything down. I'm going to give the cocoa a good spraying, and then I'm going to wet the paper towels on the 2 paper towel test trays. This is just to make sure that there is water being held in the medium. Oh, this is a pretty good spraying, like not just a light spray. I know I said it before, but this cocoa will hold on to the water. So you don't want to go crazy with it, but you do not want it to dry out. That would be not good for your seeds. And our seeds have been soaking for 6 hours. So they've already got a lot of water content in there. Okay. Now I'm going to take the paper towels and I'm just going to soak them down. A good soaking. I'm going to try and get every bit of it. And you can see the grate. You can kind of see the grate like through the paper towel once you get it nice and wet. Alright, so let's put the paper towels over here. Now we only are doing one tray of the radish because this is the spicy one. So let's sprinkle these guys on here. They kind of come out, they're coming out kind of clumpy, but we will spread them around, do some manual spreading here. You just want to even them out as much as you can. This is not perfection. You're not aiming for perfection here. You're just aiming for a good even spread as best you can get. A lot of times the corners get kind of missed, so make sure you get them into the corners. Okay, so even though we sprayed the cocoa and we soaked the seeds, now that we've got them on there, we're going to spray one more time. Alright. Next is our broccoli. Broccoli. Now let's do the paper towel. Make sure we use all the seeds we started. This stuff will grow pretty thick. Thing that's cool, I can already tell. I've never done, I don't know if I said this earlier, I've never tried sprouting on a paper towel. I just know that people do it. So I wanted to try it. And I can kind of tell already that it is kind of cool how just, you know, being able to see everything so well. You can see like exactly where you're putting it. And with both of these, I will spray. All right. Now we have the alfalfa is last. Okay, and there you have it. We have 5 trays, 2 experiments, an alfalfa experiment and a broccoli experiment with the paper towels, and then we have our radish in the cocoa. So what we're going to do now is we're going to simulate the germination period. So we're going to almost like everything that we're doing here with sprouting is to simulate what would happen outside in nature. So now we're going to make it, we're going to close them up, cut them off from the light, put some pressure on the top of them to tell them that they should be digging down into their medium. So they should be digging down into the cocoa or digging down through the paper towel to put their roots in. That's what we're going to try and simulate and to try and have them do. So I'm just going to stack these since we're doing a test. I will stack these in different, I'll do a cocoa on top, or a paper towel on top of a cocoa, and vice versa all the way to the top. Now when we get to the top, everything is pressed down pretty well. I'm going to put something over here. So this cardboard box will work perfectly fine. I'm going to throw it on top like that, and now I'm going to weigh it down with something. How about 2 tackle boxes? There we go. 2 tackle boxes. That'll work. That is the basic procedure of getting started. And if you want to follow along with us at home as we sprout these seeds, that's what you got to do. So in the coming days, I'm going to do a couple of things with these. And if you want to do this at home, it'll be great. The next video I make on these sprouts will be harvesting and tasting. So we're going to go for about 7 to 8 days. That's what I'm going for. Probably 8 days. And every morning, I'm going to take these trays and I'm going to spray them with water. Give them some water every morning. Every night, I'm going to spray them with some water some more. When I see that they are starting to get tall, right? They're starting to finally grow, but they're probably still yellow because we've kept them in the dark. But they're starting to kind of grow, and there's not a lot of green, or there's hardly any green on them because they need that sunlight. That's when I'm going to put them under a light, and I'm going to let them stay under a light. And from that point on, they'll stay under the light, but we will still spray the water on them in the morning, spray the water on them in the afternoon. If you find that they're getting dry, if they're getting too dry on you, with these trays, you can take that bottom green tray and you can put a cup or 2 of water in the bottom to let the roots reach down to grab that water. So you don't, if they're holding water, if they're not drying out, you don't really want to put a lot of water in the bottom of them because you don't want to over water them. That's going to cause issues. But if they do look like they're starting to get a little dry, don't be scared to put some water in that bottom green tray to let them reach down for that. But then if you do that, just make sure that you're not putting water underneath them and then spraying water on top of them, because then you're going to get over watering as well. So next time we see our sprouts, we will be harvesting and then trying them. But it would be awesome if you guys did something like this at home. It doesn't take a lot of space. It's very simple to do, and we can see how it turns out. I'm very interested to see the paper towels. I don't know how those are going to do. I would tell you my recommendation right now is just to use the cocoa coir, and because I know that's a pretty good one. But if the paper towel works out, that'll be nice because it's dirt cheap. All right, thanks guys for joining me on this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.